Okay, Pete, 6:30.
Good evening, and welcome to the meeting of the Old Kings Highway Regional Historic District Sandwich Town Committee. My name is Peter Williams, and I am the chairman of the committee. In reviewing the applications, the committee will consider, among other things, the historical value and significance of the building, the general design, arrangement, texture, material, and color of the features, and the relation of such features to the buildings and structures in the immediate surroundings. Applications will be heard in the order published in the agenda, followed by continued applications. Anyone aggrieved by a decision of the committee may, within 10 days, appeal the decision, that's 10 calendar days, by the way, to the Regional Commission by obtaining a form from the Sandwich Planning Office. I'll now take the roll call. Rich Alger,
Here.
Mike Sullivan,
Here.
Pat Hallahan,
Here.
Diane DeLeo,
Here.
Ren Ritter.
Here.
And would you make the motions, Mike?
Sure.
And Pat, would you second? I guess we're ready for the first item. The first certificate on our agenda tonight is number 24149D, Three Chickies LLC, for a demolition permit. Whoever's speaking for the application, would they come up here to this chair? Introduce yourselves.
You have questions? Yes, we'll be taking those after the presentation. Yes, yes, you'll have an opportunity to present your question when we've heard the application. Thank you.
And you are?
Good evening. My name is, Scott Parella. I'm with Conserve Group. We are representing the applicant, and I will give an overview of the project and here to answer any questions that you have. Thank you for your time this evening. And this with me is Stuart Clark, our civil engineer.
Please speak into the microphone. You were loud at first, and now I can hardly hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Okay. Do you need to meet me to repeat my name? Scott Parella with Conserve Group.
Okay.
Stuart Clark, our civil engineer with Green Seal Environmental.
Yep.
Any particular order in which you'd like me to go through the project?
Well, on this application, we're strictly talking about the demolition.
Correct.
That's it up on the screen.
So this is a set of photographs of the current location with 3 dwellings on it, built circa 1950, I believe, if my memory serves me. They are currently vacant. The first few pictures show what it was like in, I believe it was January this year, and by August, some of the vegetation is, tall grasses is filled in there. We're proposing to remove those structures, and then the next project would be to new construction of a commercial use.
Any questions from the committee?
How long since those structures have been lived in?
Years. One in the rear, I would defer to the owner to give an exact date, but the one in the rear, I believe, was last occupied by the town.
Okay.
I have no questions. Just to clarify, you said that the date of construction was in the 1950s?
My recollection serves me.
Does the application confirm that, Miriam?
What is that, 41 for one of them?
4158.
Yeah, 41, 58. Thank you.
Any questions or comments from the public? Would you please come up to this podium, please, and state your name?
Okay.
This is strictly about the demolition.
Yes, yes. I live across the street. I'm Pamela Barnard Grabowski at 16 Route 6A. And I have pictures, recent pictures, and it's all grown up. And that is going to cause another problem. When they demolished all those, all the birds and everything came all into our yard, which is fine. But the question we have is, my husband saw rats going into these buildings. And our concern is if everything came across and there were birds, they're nice. We are really concerned that the rats that have been living in those houses for so many years are going to, if they don't get taken care of at the festation, they may try to find other places to live. And we don't want to have to...
I think that's a very legitimate concern, and I think you should go to the Board of Health about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And so how do I do that?
Well, just get in contact with the Board of Health, and it's part of when they get a permit from the building commission to demolish the buildings.
Okay.
That could be one of the criteria that they deal with the rats.
Yeah, because he saw them go in, and we don't want them coming across the road.
You don't blame me.
We're nice neighbors, but not for rats.
Yes.
We started with 2 sets of cardinals. Now we have 4, and all the birds have come over. Not that they didn't go anywhere else, but they know where to come to get fed. So I can call them sometime this week.
Yes.
And
Just go
let-
go into the town hall and make an appointment.
oh, I have to make an appointment and talk to them, or can I call?
You can call me, if you go in there, someone will talk to you.
Yeah.
I think it's early in the process, but sure.
Yeah, and just to somehow get rid of them before they
Sure.
have a home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Public
Thank you.
health
Thank
issue.
you.
Any other comments?
William Conley, 21 Route 6A. Question is, this demolition, does that include the removal of the oil tanks that are in the ground? The former owner had a school bus repair business, which he drained the oil, changed the oil filters, whatever, on school buses. And he had, I believe, 2 tanks that the oil went into. They're going to have to be removed if they're not already leaking into the soil.
I believe that would be part of the function of the building department and the building commissioner.
If they're aware of it.
Pardon me?
If they're aware of it.
Well, you could make them aware of it. The only thing we sit in judgment on is how the appearance affects the neighborhood.
Well, that's another thing, but if you're only talking about demolition tonight, we can't discuss that either.
Pardon me?
That's the next issue, sir.
Next thing on the issue.
Yes, right now, we're just talking about the demolition. The
Are you
next
going
thing,
to have another meeting?
no, the next item on the agenda.
But I don't mean tonight, I mean in the future.
Tonight, the next item on the agenda is about the new building.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, we take them separately.
Okay.
So the demolition is one application, and then the rebuild is another application.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Do we have a motion, Mike?
Make a motion to accept application 24-149D as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next item, 24-150RB, rebuild, Three Chickies LLC, construct a new takeout restaurant with covered seating at 15 and 15R Route 6A. You're up again.
Thank you. If we could scroll up. Okay. All right. So we're proposing on Route 15, Route 6A, new commercial construction project. It would be a new takeout seafood restaurant, owner occupied on the property. In other words, the owners of the property will operate the business as well. It's right next to the Twin Acres ice cream shop, and the complementary aspect of the business will be focused primarily on seafood. So some complementary benefit economically for the adjacent business there. It's intended to be seasonal in operation from thereabouts of beginning of May through end of October-ish, shoulder seasons including prime seasons. And it's a single floor structure with a full basement. The single floor structure is approximately 1,800 square feet gross, with a full foundation unfinished basement, or mostly unfinished basement, of about the same square footage. And then the seating is all intended to be outdoor covered patio seating for accommodation of 48, and that's of 1,620 square feet. And if you look at the front elevation, you'll see where in the dead center, just for the avoidance of doubt, that Twin Acres fish is not part of the scope of this conversation. We're not talking about signage here. That was for a concept. We're strictly talking about at the front of the building, we have also undercover areas for people to come in, place their order, and take it to their seating. In addition, there would be one strictly like call ahead takeout window for like not a drive-through, but like I phone in my order and I pick up and go. And
Is that the excuse me, is that the window on the right?
on the right, correct. It says I think it says white vinyl clad wood windows with PVC trim.
Yeah.
But that is the spot.
Right. So is there a drive-through concept here?
Well, there's, in terms of, for food service, no. There's driving around for access and into and egress from the property. But it's not a drive-in. It's not like a drive-up window for food.
So the idea is that people will pull up and park somewhere?
Correct. We can get into the site design next.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But this just gives an overview of, from the top down, all the work will be inside the structure. All the dining will be outside the structure.
So it looks similar to the ice cream place.
And as we get, that's another piece of that is the aesthetically, we're trying to be very complementary.
Yeah.
And if I this illustration right here, I wanted to highlight where the proposed building, which is outlined in green, will sit in relation to the existing structures outlined in, I tried to put a blue outline around them. So it's in similar location to the existing structures that are there. And in terms of overall footprint on the property, I mean, it's much more condensed versus three smaller spread out buildings. Next slide, please. And that just is another one, okay, yeah. These are, now we're getting into materials. So the intent is to have a traditional appearance aligned with the design standards of the town. So these are modern materials in terms of them being long-lasting, low maintenance, but
They look traditional.
color-wise, texture-wise, very much so. In fact, most of the colors are white outside of the roof shingles and clapboards and shingles. And shingles are intended to be used on gabled ends, clapboards on all other elevations. And white is white, relatively speaking, but I did bring actual product. If anyone is interested in seeing that, I can submit this. Would you like me to do that now?
Sure, I get that.
Sure. Strike two. All right.
So it's white, siding's going to be white?
Is there a sticker on the window?
So all the trim, windows, doors are intended to be white. The only thing not white, aside from the roof shingles, are, if you look at this elevation, the gabled ends of the
yeah.
east elevation, the west elevation,
This one
and the south elevation will be shingles, and then all elevations will have clapboards.
I know what it is. I don't need to-
So the intent is to build a commercially viable structure aligned with the standards. And as far as site goes, we can scroll through more of this, and I can talk you through, or Stuart can talk you through some of the details about the site design if you like. But if we scroll down a little further, a little further again, go through here, yeah. Okay. All right, so let's try one more click, one more click. That's existing conditions, one more click. Existing conditions, one more. Not sure where this is. Keep going. Down further, further, other way. Is that the end?
If you go to the, there's like 5 other sheets. Just go up to one of the walls, I can walk you, yeah, one of those would be fine. I can walk you through it. Basically, again, my name is Stuart Clark. I'm with Green Seal Environmental from Sagamore Beach. Like he says, we're trying to, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I don't want to yell at you. Is that good? Better. All right. Yeah, Stuart Clark with Green Seal Environmental from Sagamore Beach, right across the bridge. We look at the site, we're subcontract to Conserve to do the civil engineering on the site. We wanted to, or the applicant wanted to have, you know, some connectivity to the ice cream shop so somebody can come have their dinner over here and then maybe walk over, and we're going to have like a lighted walkway connecting the two so you can walk between the two properties. This picture shows the pavement ending almost on the front facade of the building. But I think based on meetings we had last week, we're going to extend that pavement all the way to the back of the parking lot, but those last 2 parking areas where the 15R garage is and the other one will be gravel, just to keep the impervious area down.
Where is the parking lot?
Excuse me.
I think there, can we click over to the next tab to the left, please? Not the sheet, the tab on the browser. To the tab to the left, the one with 241, that one right there. Scroll down, way down.
Keep going, 2 more sheets. No, it's not in that one either.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Oh, it's right here.
Parking lot.
Do you have a laser pointer?
So, as I understand it, you're trying to
I'll try to direct you.
minimize the amount of impervious.
Correct.
So there'll be not much more,
Runoff, right?
yeah, but tarmac, what do you call it?
Pavement.
Pavement,
Small
yeah.
pavement, right.
There won't be much more than we can see currently going up to the front of the
Exactly.
building, and then round the back it'll be gravel or
Right,
something.
we do have to keep a hard surface for handicap accessibility. So that's why that front parking lot is going to be paved. And then we're just going to run it down the sides a little bit for the delivery trucks and such.
Sure.
How much parking do you have?
I think there's 57 spots, it says right here.
Oh, that's plenty.
Parking calculation.
57.
57 spots.
Be mad.
We're required to have, what, how many we're required to have? 28? I believe I can read that.
That sounds like they got plenty anyway.
21 we're supposed to have.
Can I
Requirement's
ask a
21.
question? No.
Yes.
I guess it's not really our issue, but I know with the Twin Acres, you have parking, and then people park across the street, I don't know. And that, where there's an office building and everybody goes home at night, people
I didn't
park
know.
over there.
Yeah.
And they're told to park over there, so I don't know what.
Yeah, we're,
What's the question?
Well, the question is that going to be the same for this?
So the requirement for parking is 21 spaces. We're putting in 57.
right. And the,
The intent is to actually
Give the
provide relief,
Okay.
have more than abundant parking.
Okay.
because it does get busy over.
Thank you. The number of parking spaces or how you pave it is not an issue for this committee.
Thank you.
We are here strictly to judge how the building looks from 6A. That's very limited authority. You're going to face all those questions as you go through the stations.
Yeah, but if I may, Mr. Chairman, I would imagine some neighbours might have concerns about parking.
I agree, but that's something for the zoning board or the planning board. The town has regulations about that. It's not something that the Historic District Committee deals with.
Okay.
Okay, so talking about 6A again. Before, the way it is now, I never really noticed anything there, because of the way the topography is. Is that going to be similar? I mean, are you going to clear everything out? Now you're going to see this building, or when you come up on it, is it still
So
just going to see a driveway?
if you look at the existing structures, just in the month of January, they're clearly visible from the road.
Yeah.
To your point about the elevations, we're not making any topographical elevations.
Okay.
We're not making any changes to that. In other words, we're not lowering the grade any, so it's
Right.
going to remain
It's about
At that-
elevation 64, the same as the ice cream stand, and we're going to keep it all around that elevation. So it'll still be kind of up the hill a little bit from one end.
I mean,
Driveway's in the same.
what's the frontage on 6A?
Oh, it's
If
wonderful.
we go back to the, if we scroll, I guess, to the, go back to the other tab, not sheet, tab on the browser. Right there, you can see it. I mean, that green outline is the proposed, and the existing is in the blue outline.
So you got a parking, is this 6A right here?
Yes.
So you got a driveway going in, so,
There's a driveway there now.
yeah, I know.
Yep.
So on either side of the driveway, are you going to have any plantings or anything?
Yes.
There is a landscape plan,
Okay.
and
So that will kind of, you won't see the building as much where those plantings are?
Right, yeah, we want to make it look nice.
Okay.
Attract people. So it's going to be professionally done, look nice.
Yeah.
As the neighbouring property is. As the ice cream parlour is
Yes.
Attractively.
exactly. Attractive,
on the scale.
fit into the community.
Yeah, okay.
Does the public have any questions or comments they'd like to make? Please step up to the podium.
Hi, I'm Catherine Kelly. I live at 21 Route 6A, Unit Number 3, so I'm a condominium owner there. The architectural rendering you had up there that showed the picture of it, can you put that there? Yeah. It seems to be like very similar to the ice cream shop. Looks like a twin, like a reflection of it. And it's going to be owner-occupied, so I know your concern is the architectural integrity, but there are other questions that we neighbors have in terms of who the owner-occupier is, how many people are involved in that owner-occupancy. It looks from what I see here and that it's going to be
set back from the road the same amount as the ice cream shop is. And then you mentioned the pathway will go from the ice cream shop through well, they have tall cedar bushes there, so they can access both. In connection with that, are you going to offer any facilities for toiletry?
So by code, the property has to have publicly accessible bathrooms, which if I go to the floor plan, I can show where that is.
We
Well,
believe
my
you.
concern about that is that we property owners who live in the condominiums right next to Twin Acres, we have to look at a porta potty out our front door or our kitchen window 6 months out of the year. And that was put there without any consideration to, I would say, architectural, historical 6A. So I'm hopeful that that will be removed.
Excuse me?
That-
All these questions will be decided by the town codes at other committees. This is strictly about how the building looks from Route 6A.
Yeah, and how is it going to look if we're going to still have to contend with a porta potty?
I'm sorry, but that's not something that we can comment in this committee.
And you're actually commenting on the other property. We can only deal with this property. We can only deal with what they're presenting. We can't go back and talk about the ice cream
No,
setup.
I know, but you said you could show something about,
So you can see right there,
can you point it out to me, please?
Right in the
on
middle,
the northeast corner of the floor.
down, right there. There's 3 bathrooms.
So two bathrooms that are accessible from the outside. That's consistent with the code for the building.
Mass building.
So there's no scope for porta potties if that satisfies the curiosity.
No, I know Twin Acres has done the ice cream shop has done a really nice job there with the landscaping
Just
and,
say one thing to her for me.
but that porta potty is an eyesore.
I think we would be sympathetic to your issue. I personally would not wish to be looking at a porta toilet 6 months of the year.
Just thought it was very
It's not,
inconsiderate.
unfortunately, for this committee.
I understand.
I think you might complain elsewhere. Maybe it'd have some effect. You know, I'd be rooting for you on that one.
Well, I did call the town when it first appeared without anybody knowing it was coming. And they just said because it was a temporary structure, it could stay.
How many years?
Pardon?
How many years has it been temporary?
I think it's been there, well, they do take it in and out, but I think it's 2 seasons.
Okay.
But anyways,
Good luck, but not with us, unfortunately.
Any other comments or questions? Wait. Please wait. There's someone.
There's someone coming.
Could you scroll to the page
Excuse
that
me.
has
Could you introduce
the
yourself?
neighbors?
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I'm John Woodbury, and I'm at 13 Route 6A.
Thank
I'm
you.
real cozy with this.
Yes.
Go to the one that has the neighbors.
The abutters?
Yes, thank you very much. Now, there we go.
It's there.
Love the computers. Not that one. The one that you had first. Yes. Okay, so I'm on stage right, or left for us looking at it. And that driveway there runs really close to my house, and that's not to scale. My house is the little rectangle, which is 15 feet from the property line. My question is fencing, which you have to approve at this committee, right?
If they have fencing.
Okay. I would like to know if there's going to be some fencing for privacy to everybody, considering that my house is so close.
There's no, outside of what is in the landscaping plan, the only fencing that's currently on the property is what is intended to be there at this point.
Okay, so I would advise you guys to get some fencing, and because that's what I'm going to make a stink about. Okay?
Is that where those big, large pine trees?
Yes, they are. And those are on that property also. And we've been told that they're going to be removed, you know. All right? All right, thank you.
Yes.
I'm Noelle Gray, 21 Route 6A, Unit 4. So we are sort of behind the ice cream shop and to the my right there. And we're concerned about fencing too. If there's a lot of public and a lot of parking, they could very easily go right into our property where it's a residential condominium area with mostly older people. We're 60 and older at that condominium. So hopefully there'll be a fence that would go on that side too, separating our property from the parking lot. So that would be really important. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next.
Probably another committee's question. Pam Barnard Grabowski, 16 Route 6A, Sandwich, Mass. Right across the street. We don't have ours in there. Anybody know what the traffic is like on 6A during the summer? And, you know, you have planned 57, you know, and that small little, I know what it is. I just took a picture of it, and it has all grown up. So you're going to be taking all that out again and doing everything. But shouldn't they have something like an in and an out on that section? Because everybody trying to get in and out on that one section is, 6A is at a dead stop in the summer.
That's a fair question, and again, it's not for this committee to decide.
Okay, so who do I talk to about that?
I assume the planning board, maybe the zoning board,
Okay.
certainly the building commissioner, and
Okay. All right.
not the historic committee.
And if you are putting, you know, fences up, I don't know, I see you're going to be taking that path in for the ice cream shop back and forth and doing something there. My thought is also the same thing, is it going to come all the way to the edge of the street so that it's safe for people? You don't want people out on 6A trying to go from one side to the other. So you have the path.
Not on the street. It's not on the street, ma'am.
Okay, so it's up there. Okay. Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Sure, come on up. Feel like I'm teaching school again.
Hi, I'm Elaine Mazerl. I actually live on Tupper Road, but I back up to Wilson Road, so I have no free space. So I'm really here for the neighbor that's at 6 Wilson Road. And I know when the property was cleared this winter, as you saw in the first few photographs, they took all the trees down from 4 Wilson Road all the way up to where the cul-de-sac is. So right now it's completely bare. So I'm asking on their behalf if you're planning on putting any shrubbery or anything back up, because they had beautiful tall trees all along there, and you couldn't see through that area. And when it was all cleared this winter, there's nothing. It's just all those stumps and the buildings that are left behind.
Yeah, I mean, so the landscape clearing was before, that predates any scope of work that we've done or undertaken, and as far as specific plantings along that area, I don't believe there's anything that we're intending that's going to replace the magnitude of those trees.
Well, there's got to be something along there. There's nothing for a sound barrier for anything. It's all been taken out of there.
Again, we can't comment on that. We're only here to see how the building looks from 6A.
Okay.
There are other committees in the town that will have to deal with those issues.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And I would remind you, gentlemen, that if we approve this tonight, it's good only for 1 year, and you have to get it renewed. And if you decide to put any fencing in, you will have to come back here and get that approved.
Understood.
Yes, we can only approve what's presented to us tonight.
Understood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you, having heard the comments from the public, would you consider putting the fencing on either side?
We'll consider what our client's considering.
Can we have a sidebar with him?
Sure.
Any comment at this time? Sit down. Want me to sit here, or you want
Yes, yes, please, no, that's fine.
My name is Evan Cohen. I'm the owner. I also own Twin Acres Ice Cream Shop. I also own about 11 other properties here in town. Never had a problem. Most of them are on 6A. We try to do everything with beauty. We love landscaping, as some of people have already mentioned. I just finished a project in Yarmouthport, right on 6A. It's about 3 acres. We put in about 20% more plantings than were required. I think we put in about 200 pear trees and maple trees. So it is our intention, because we live in this town, to make it look pretty. It's also our intention to always put fencing on the right side, all the way down to the property line where there's existing fencing. We have decided not to do that at this point during construction, but that fence will continue, which is on the Twin Acres property. So for the residents in the cottages behind there, they will see fencing and arborvitaes like we did to separate the original property. On the left side of the property, I think it was 13, Route 6A, I have spoken to both the husband and wife there. And they had asked us, we left those trees actually, but they had requested we take those big trees down, which I said I would. But I left them there to give them some coverage. Taken down about 6 or 7 full growth trees, probably planted in the 40s at the time the house was built, probably in the 50s. You know, so we do intend to put some arborvitaes up there, give them some blockage. But my issue was, when I spoke to the wife, and forgive, I think it was Suzanne or Susanna, they wanted light to come through the windows, so it's going to be difficult to block it again, but we will, if that's what they want. But we don't intend to do anything that's going to adversely affect the area.
The arborvitaes will look a lot nicer than a fence anyway.
And they're a good sound barrier, and they're pretty, yeah, yep. But that is our intention, and people will see me out there every day. I'm watering and picking weeds and...
Thank you very much.
Okay. Good.
Anything further?
No, I have no questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from the public?
Hearing none.
Could I have a motion, Mike?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept application 24-150RB as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, number 24-151, window replacement at 15 Pleasant Street. Please.
Hello, my name's Liam Mahoney. I'm the homeowner there.
Okay. And you want to replace the windows on the sides of the building with vinyl windows. I see you've already removed several windows.
Then they already were all vinyl. They were all replaced not too long ago, I think. I mean, we bought the house only a year and a half ago, but it looks like those windows aren't more than 30 or 40 years old, and they were already vinyl and falling apart. And the whole upstairs was in pretty bad shape, so we have to replace them.
My question is this. What kind of trim is going to be around the windows?
In part, it's kind of our question to you. We want to do it right. We want to do whatever trim needs to look like in that lovely neighborhood, and it right now has white wood trim around the 4 windows. We had
I don't
we would do
recall
something
seeing a
similar.
sketch of the trim on the application. And I think for us, having the windows trimmed properly so that it goes with the house is important.
So that photo is not the windows that are changing. I sent in a photo from the side.
The side windows would not be the same as the front. You wouldn't treat it that way.
They're not the same, yeah, at all. They're a different kind of window. They're bigger. The front has these tiny little dormers. Those windows are very, very tiny, but the side windows are, so it's not a very good view. I did submit a photo from the side, though, that would show it. But in any case, the kind of windows we're putting in are somewhat similar to the ones that were there, but slightly larger. And we had assumed that
I would like to see a sketch or a picture.
We weren't planning to change the trim, so that's why it wasn't submitted.
I would like to see a sketch or a picture, something, of what the windows are going to look like with the trim around them.
What's the existing windows on the front? What's the trim around those? Is it wood or vinyl?
The
on
trim
on the front of
the trim is all wood.
It's all
the trim,
wood.
it's like the vinyl is just the very inside of the window that
Yes,
slides up and down,
okay.
but the trim is all white wood on all the windows. So,
And what would your preference be, to continue wood around the side or to do vinyl?
No, the same. It's just vinyl is how you buy affordable windows these days. That's just the part that slides up and down.
Well,
But the trim would be wood and white.
Are you replacing the wood or just the vinyl windows?
My carpenter would have to decide if the wood had to be replaced or expanded because the windows are not exactly the same size.
Okay.
Right.
They're slightly like an inch. It's like an inch difference here or there. So the carpenter would have to figure that out, but it would still just be painted white wood.
Yeah.
That's the plan. And if the style of what was there was acceptable, that's of the trim, which is currently painted white wood. That's what we would do. So that's the idea.
Oh, I think it would be helpful for the committee to, as
Peter.
Peter, I was thinking of your real first name, but
A sketch.
to do a sketch and to have that with the application. So that we, so it's listed exactly what we're approving.
Yeah.
And is the I'm sort of still surprised the photo of the side window hasn't come up, but because I
I
guess
have no pictures of the side of the house.
yeah, I brought it in when I submitted all the other materials. They told me to take a photo, and I took it and brought it in.
Well,
Printed it out.
First of all, I disagree that the windows can't be seen from the street, because they can be seen from the street. If you're walking down the street, you're going to see them. And a vinyl window with no trim, I don't believe the committee would accept in the village like that. So it has to be trimmed, the 1x4 pine with a false stool or something similar.
I think my question to you was whether we simply assumed that the existing white wood trim stylistically was correct, and we would simply be replicating it. So I don't.
The existing trim on the side of the house, I assume is acceptable, but I don't have a picture of it, so I don't know what it looks like.
Right. So I think that's the point. We need to have a visual to approve. So we need to see exactly what it's going to look like.
You can just put this over to the next meeting and come in with that, and we can go from there. And the next meeting is in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. It's a little frustrating because I did submit that photo, but okay, I have no choice then. But I guess what I wanted to be to
You have
find
a
out is
choice. You have a choice. You can say, no, I want to submit tonight, and
Well, no, I've just been told that
chances.
won't work.
We need a picture of the window, a picture of the side of the house, so we can see, and a picture of the window and the trim.
Yeah.
Bring all that with you at the next meeting, so we can see what we're approving, that's all. It's that simple.
And we get your point about the windows may not fit the existing trim, and the trim might have to be adapted. But if we know how wide the trim's going to be, for example, and what color it's going to be, and a sketch, we don't need an actual photograph, I don't think, do we? Would a sketch do?
Pardon me?
Do we need an actual photograph?
Well, I think a photograph of the existing window trim on the side or back of the house would be interesting, because if it's the original trim to the house, then we're trying to duplicate that appearance.
May I ask if I have a photo of that on my phone right now, would that be adequate to show you?
No. You're being pretty generous.
What's that?
You're being pretty generous about the picture.
Well, we'll see what it looks like.
All right, maybe.
Sorry for the delay.
Oh, it's okay.
That's because you've eaten and I haven't.
Actually, that's not true.
No.
Those are the two upper windows there on the side, driveway side. That's the side, they're still there. The other ones have to be taken out there on the other side, but the same.
Oh, nice.
They're nice.
The capitals on the top.
Yeah, they're nice.
Capital trim. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Everyone?
Maybe you could send that to Marion.
Yeah.
That picture.
We have to put your phone in the record. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, you can send the picture, to her, and then we could vote on it.
Send that picture to Miriam.
Yeah.
Could we have a motion?
You wanted conditioned in any way?
Yes.
Conditioned on what?
That the new windows are trimmed similar to
the
each of
old?
what's in the photograph.
Make a motion to accept application 24-151 as submitted, but on the condition that the window trim be consistent with the photograph presented here and which will be part of the record.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I'll send that right over. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Continued certificate of appropriateness 24-06959. Solar panels at 158 Main Street.
This is suspicious.
Right,
Aye.
Good evening, Steve Kelly from Sunrun,
right.
and we are back with a revised plan for this project that we had originally tried to get passed, with 13 panels on the left side of the roof, most definitely visible from the street. We've changed it from a circular design to 2 arrays, that we have the 10 panels on the right side of the roof and 3 panels on the left. We use a black-on-black panel with a black skirt underneath it.
I think what we asked when you came here originally, we agreed that historic buildings in the village are entitled to have solar panels. We don't disagree with that. But we think the appearance from the street has to be kept to a minimum. And I think the committee agreed that that first row of panels, which would leave 10 feet of clear roof, so it would be less obtrusive as you were walking down the street, was a reasonable request. And you went out to reconsider it and came back and said you couldn't do it. And now you're back again and you're telling me again you can't do it. And I don't think that you've really pursued that.
I don't recall it that way. Sorry. I know that the original design was a backwards G-type design.
Yes, and apparently we have a misunderstanding because I don't think that was the objection.
Okay. Perhaps it was my perceived objection. I know there was talk at that time about attempting to use the building out back or perhaps the other roof planes, which we were not able to do.
Right.
And also to have a more symmetrical array.
Correct. And we're trying to do that with the two, the array on the right is 5 panels high by 2 wide, and the other one is single panels for 3. I don't, with the location of the chimney and the vent pipe that's on that side, I believe there may also be a skylight. There's not a lot that we could do to keep the 13 panels.
I disagree. I think there is a lot you can do. It might not be as ideal as what you're proposing, but I think because you're in the heart of the village, you have to be willing to make some compromises.
I'm absolutely willing to make compromises. This is a project that never would have been brought before the board by me 5 years ago, 3 years ago. So I'm well aware of where the house is, and I don't mean to be condescending or anything, because I know you know where the house is a lot better than I do. I must have misunderstood the direction. I don't know what we can do with that. With the location of the chimney, we could potentially remove those 3 panels on the left, leaving just the 10 panels on the right, which again would be extremely visible from the street, coming up Main Street from the west, I guess that is.
If I had a preference, I would like you to remove the first row of panels towards the street, which is 5 panels. You could put 2 more panels to the left of the chimney. I don't know if you have enough room to put 2 panels behind the chimney. I don't know if it's possible to talk to the fire inspector and reduce the clear area towards the ridge so you could make an adjustment. But I think those are possibilities. I also think putting panels on the low roof near the ridge in the back, although it's less ideal, is feasible.
Now, are you referring to the main portion of the house?
Yes.
Okay, main body of the house, not the little L that's off the back, off the rear. Okay, I would like to extend our application and come back
Okay.
when available, please, and see what we can come up with.
Continue that. October 28th, continue it to October 28th, Mike.
Why?
It's so long. There's only one meeting next month.
We have a meeting in 2 weeks.
No, Columbus
We have a
Day.
meeting.
Holiday.
Oh, I just read the thing wrong.
The 28th.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, this project was continued for quite a while, so I don't think there's a problem if it gets continued for,
Looking at
Oh, we got a
Decent.
meeting in 2 weeks.
only one meeting.
it's just a matter of jamming up your
Looking at
23rd?
agenda.
Yeah.
September 23.
Yes. Yeah, we have a meeting
Yeah,
September
Yeah,
23rd.
September. There's only one meeting in October.
The next meeting is in September.
Right.
This should be-
September 23 work for you?
We'll make it work.
Thank
I believe I have another meeting that night. I will confirm and
Well,
get right back to
What
you.
month this is?
Yeah, September.
if it's a problem, contact the planning department.
Correct.
I mean, we got September 23, October, we have October 28. We only have one meeting in October. So
Okay.
we can do September 23. You know,
Okay.
Unless there's any public comment, I'll make a motion to continue this matter to the September 23 meeting.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being accommodating.
We're going to be working together. Gotta.
Next item, 24-143, mounted solar panels at 14 Captain Kidd Road.
Make a motion.
Yeah.
Hello?
Good evening, Tim Holmes with Sunwind Solar. For the majority of these panels in this application, this is a house that is still under construction. It's a new build, and the majority of these are on the back of the house. So they're very limited visibility from the street. Might just catch the edge of the panels on the right-hand side from the street, but for the most part, everything is not visible from the street.
Any questions from the committee? Any questions or comments from the public? You have a motion?
Make a motion to accept application 24-143 as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next item, discuss the schedule for the next meetings.
Well, that was easy.
Pardon me?
That was easy. Got a chart here.
Yes.
Not much we can do about it.
Yes, there is.
There is?
Yeah. If you look at December, we have a meeting on Monday, December 23rd, which, because of the attendance issues, we think would be well advised to postpone.
Make a motion, Mike.
Make a motion to postpone the December 23 meeting to the first meeting date in January of 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I didn't know we could do that.
Any other matters? Do we have minutes to approve?
Minutes?
Yeah, no, okay.
Okay.
No
We
minute?
have a motion to,
Motion to adjourn at 7:27.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I don't know why.
No minute?
What's your first name, right, William?
No, it's actually George Peter Williams.
George Peter Williams.
Okay,
All right, that was,
so we're back in 2 weeks.
said I know it's,
September 23rd.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
That was long.